Rain hammered the lonely highway the night Daniel Sawyer and his 8-year-old daughter Emma were driving home from a school talent show. Their old pickup rattled as wind pushed it sideways, but Emma, clutching her little trophy, kept humming softly. She had won first place for singing, something Daniel hadn't stopped smiling about all evening. As they rounded a bend near the abandoned quarry, Emma suddenly gasped. "Dad, stop!" she cried, pointing toward the ditch. Daniel slammed the brakes. Through sheets of rain, he saw a dark figure lying face down on the muddy roadside. No movement, no sound. "Emma, stay in the truck," Daniel said firmly, grabbing a flashlight. But Emma shook her head. "Daddy, what if he dies?" Daniel hesitated. Emma had her mother's heart, gentle, stubborn, and impossibly brave. He nodded, taking her hand. "Stay behind me." They approached slowly. The man was soaked, bleeding from a gash on his forehead, barely breathing. His lips were blue. His clothes, expensive, torn, muddy, didn't match the setting. Next to him lay a leather briefcase, half open, papers scattered in the rain. Daniel knelt beside him. "Sir, can you hear me?" A faint groan escaped. The man's eyelids fluttered, then closed again. "He's dying, Daddy," Emma whispered, voice trembling. Daniel's instincts warred inside him. The nearest hospital was over an hour away. The storm made the roads dangerous. Whoever this stranger was, he didn't have much time. Daniel removed his jacket and wrapped it around the man. "Help me, Em, we're taking him." Together, struggling against wind and mud, they dragged the man to the truck. Daniel lifted him into the back seat, while Emma held a towel to his bleeding head. "Daddy, are we doing the right thing?" she asked. "We're doing what good people do," Daniel said softly. The truck lurched forward into the storm. Every minute, Emma kept checking the stranger's breathing. Daniel kept glancing in the rearview mirror, worry etched into his face. Halfway home, the stranger's breathing stopped. Emma screamed, "Daddy, he's not breathing." Daniel pulled over, heart pounding. Rain battered them as he ripped the door open and pulled the stranger onto the wet ground. "Emma, hold the light." With trembling hands, Daniel began CPR, pumping the man's chest, counting loudly, breathing into his lungs. The cold rain soaked them both, but Daniel didn't stop. His arms burned. His breaths came ragged. "Don't die," he muttered desperately. "Not out here, not like this." Emma sobbed beside him, clutching the flashlight with shaking hands. "Please, mister, please wake up." Finally, after what felt like a lifetime, the stranger coughed violently, choking on air and rainwater. Emma let out a cry of relief. Daniel closed his eyes, thanking God. They brought him home, Daniel's small, worn-down farmhouse. He had only one bed, so he laid the stranger there, covering him with blankets, heating soup on the stove, and calling the understaffed rural clinic. A nurse answered. "Storm knocked out half our power. We can't reach your area," she said. "Do what you can until morning." So Daniel cared for the man all night, cleaning his wound, checking his temperature, keeping him warm. Emma sat beside the bed, holding the stranger's cold hand, whispering, "You're safe now." By sunrise, the man finally woke. His eyes darted around in confusion. Where am I?" "You're safe," Daniel said. "My daughter found you." The stranger looked at Emma, who smiled gently. "Hi, I kept you alive." A faint smile tugged at his lips. "Thank you." He tried to sit but winced in pain. My briefcase." "It's here," Daniel said. "Didn't open it, thought it was private." The man stared at Daniel for a long moment, surprised. Most people would have taken everything. Daniel shrugged. "We're not most people." Hours later, the clinic finally sent an ambulance. Before leaving, the stranger squeezed Emma's hand. "You saved my life," he whispered. Emma beamed. "Daddy says that's just what good people do." 2 days passed. Life returned to normal until 3 black SUVs pulled into Daniel's driveway. Daniel instinctively stepped in front of Emma as several men in suits exited. Then the back door opened, and the stranger stepped out, looking much healthier. His suit was clean, his hair combed, his presence commanding. "Mr. Sawyer," he said, smiling warmly, "I hope you don't mind us dropping by." Daniel frowned. "What's all this?" The man stepped forward. "My name is Victor Hale." Daniel blinked. The name was familiar. "You mean Hale Industries, the Hale Foundation?" Victor nodded. "I'm the CEO." Daniel nearly choked. He and Emma had dragged a millionaire from a ditch in the middle of nowhere. Victor continued, "I was on my way to sign off a major land purchase. Someone ran my car off the road. If not for you and your daughter, I would have died." Emma spoke up. "We couldn't just leave you there." Victor's eyes softened. "No one has cared about me like that in a long time." He handed Daniel an envelope. Inside were documents. Daniel's hands shook as he read them. The deed to a fully restored farmhouse. 20 acres of land. A trust fund for Emma's education. And a check, large enough to change their lives forever. Why would you do this?" Daniel whispered. Victor put a hand on Daniel's shoulder. "Because you saved my life without wanting anything in return. Because your little girl gave me something I haven't felt in years, hope. And because good people like you shouldn't struggle the way you have." Emma tugged Victor's sleeve. "Does this mean Daddy doesn't have to work 2 jobs anymore?" Victor knelt. "Your father's days of struggling are over." Daniel's eyes filled with tears. He tried hard to blink away. "I don't know what to say." Victor smiled. "You already said it the night you saved me. We're doing what good people do. Now it's my turn." As the SUVs pulled away, Daniel stood on the porch holding his daughter's hand, overwhelmed. "What we did," Emma whispered, "left everyone stunned, didn't it?" Daniel nodded, voice thick with emotion. "Yes, sweetheart, but more importantly, it was the right thing." And from that day forward, the single dad and his little girl lived with the quiet pride of knowing that even in the darkest storms, kindness can change the world and save lives in ways no one ever expects.